New camera.
Can we just
Who this?
can we just get ready? Let's just start. Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Adrian Reddix, and today I want to talk to you about why open source software is important. And I'm going to give you 5 open source softwares and examples on each one of them why they're important. All right, so to understand why open source software is important, you have to understand what open source software is. So, what is open source software? Open source software is, a lot of people like to think of it as free software. Well, what it is, it's open. It means open to the community. The source code that makes up the software anybody can write for it. Anybody can make improvements for it. The only thing is, whatever improvements you make, you have to make it publicly available for everybody to use. So it's open to the community. And 99% of the time, it's free. You'll have some people use open source software inside of paid software, but whatever improvements they did to make that available for them, or they made some improvements, they have to share it for everybody. There's nothing that's proprietary about open source software. I like this new focus thing. It's nice. I'm focused no matter where I'm at. I like that. All right. So the first example I want to give you, and these are 5 of my favorite open source softwares. The first one is going to be something we've covered before. Oh, sorry, this side. And that's VLC. So VLC is a media player. Why is this important? So let's go back into the ancient era of technology or computers. Well, my ancient era. It's going to be the 90s. Back then you had videos that had different formats. You had videos that would only play in Real Player, or videos that would only play in Windows Media Player or QuickTime. And you had to have all 3 of these different programs to run the different types of video. You have different codecs, that's the information that the media player used to recognize and read the file that you'd have to download and maintain and things like that. But what VLC does, it took all that effort and having to have so many media players and condensed it down to just one thing. To me, it works on almost every type of media format I throw at it. And if it doesn't work, if I do a little changes or tweak it a little bit, it'll work. Having a open source media player for all platforms kind of helps everybody able to consume the media that they want to or that they have to consume. And that is an open source thing that people contribute to almost on a daily basis. So VLC is a great open source software. The next one, it's going to be Android. Android? Yep. Android is an open source piece of software. So Android started off as its own independent company, and then Google came in and swooped in and grabbed it, but they kept it an open source platform. That's why all these manufacturers are able to use it, because it's free. Hey, you use it, make some changes as you want to them, put them on your devices, and you go. So Android, as far as mobile, is the #1 mobile platform or operating system in the world. Apple not even close. The new Huawei, I forget what it's called, but not even close. Android dominates the market. And that's because you could put it on any device. Unlike Apple and their iOS or their Mac OS or whatever operating system you use, you can't take it off. Well, I mean, I'll put a video of Linus doing it, but you can't theoretically, you're not supposed to take the Mac OS or the iOS and put it on another device. I guess it's some type of breach of the terms. I don't know. The cool thing about this is that it's free and it's open source. Unlike Apple, there's a guy I used to talk to on Facebook. He has a YouTube channel now with 1 million views. His name is Rossmann. And he goes into how Apple pretty much isn't looking out for either the consumer or the repair shop. Like it's very difficult to get parts for these things, and they make things so difficult for the end consumer that I'll link another video. A lot of links in this video, huh? But Android takes the power, even though it is owned by Alphabet, it takes the power from this conglomerate and puts it in the hands of the people to have something that they can use and not have to spend so much money on, i.e. iOS. All right. And the next one is going to be one of my favorite programs of all time, and it's going to be Linux. Linux is an operating system. I know it's 2 operating systems in a row, and it's open source, it's free, and most of the world, a good portion of the world, and the internet is on Linux servers. I mean, it's not a very easy to learn system. I mean, the GUI, the graphic user interface, has gotten better since the 90s because it was atrocious back then, and it's becoming more usable. But as far as the real hardcore Linux administrators, the people who keep up servers and things like that, it's all command line. If you don't know command line and you want to get into Linux, learn command line, because it's things you can't do on that GUI. You have all these different flavors of Linux, or distributions of Linux. So it's still, just like I said earlier, it's ice cream, but it's vanilla ice cream, strawberry ice cream, cookies and cream, mint chocolate chip. I don't know why you eat that, but you know, that's a you thing. What problem Linux solves is you don't have to pay for most Linux distributions, right? So that means I could build a computer. I can have a Raspberry Pi. Instead of trying to go and spend $100 on a Windows license key, I can take this Linux, put it on my Pi, and now I have an operating system. I can connect to the world now. I can program. I can do all different kinds of things. And it takes, again, it puts everybody on an even playing field. I'm going to go ahead and quote Bill Gates. I was looking at an interview, and he said the 2 great equalizers in the world are libraries and internet. That operating system gets you closer to the internet. The next one is something you may not have heard of, but it's FreePBX. What is that? FreePBX, a PBX is a private branch exchange, and it has to do with telephony, telephones. So let's think of old telephones. So when you think of telephones, you just think of just dialing somebody and it connects. Well, you know, it has to connect to something. So let's say I dial a phone. I'm put a little animation here, not an animation, me drawing. If I'm able to do it, you'll see it now. If not, I'll have words here to tell you that I didn't do it. So you have a phone. And the phone, so you make a call and it goes to a public telephone switch network, a PTSN. So it goes to a PTSN and it does all this configuration, routing, and gets you to here. You ever see those old time videos where they're taking plugs out and putting plugs in and, you know, doing that? That's a switch. That's a switch operator. She's switching phones from here to there to route these 2 different calls. So what a private branch exchange does, because companies and governments have a very complicated phone system. It's not just one phone, not just a house phone connected to another house phone. They have all these different phones, and it manages the phones inside of the company, and it also handles the volume that comes in to the company. Because if it was all coming into one phone, it'll be chaos and disorder and you wouldn't able to do it. So what FreePBX does, it uses voice over internet protocol, and you can set this up on any device that runs Linux or it has its own distro, and you can set up your own company's phone system. And what that does, it brings the cost of owning a phone and administrating a phone down. You can use any type of phone you want. And also, they also have a paid version called PBExact. It's what my work uses. They have, but you've probably interacted with FreePBX or PBExact system and not know it. You may heard this voice right here.
All representatives of the household are currently assisting other telemarketers.
That's Allison. They have different, you can, I'm just telling you this, it has nothing to do with FreePBX. It does. You could pay Allison to record things for you. And she has this on the website. It's a Southern accent that it's bad. Listen to it.
If you would like to learn more technical information about Asterisk, dial 2 now. If you would like to test out the voice-over IP capabilities of Asterisk, you can dial 500 to attempt an inter-Asterisk exchange.
I've been in the South a long time. I've heard nobody talk like that, ever. I mean, A for effort, but no. Let's not do that. The last one. The last one is another thing that we've covered before, and it's Brave browser. Brave is a security-based browser. It's based on Chromium. Chromium is the open source code behind Brave. But what Brave does, they put security first. So there's a very secure platform, and it also blocks ads. So why is this important? Have you ever went to a news website where you trying to get the news and they have ads everywhere, and every time you scroll there's a pop-up and it gets annoying? You just want to get the news. I understand they have to make money, but sometimes it's annoying. Brave will come in, block those pop-ups, block those ads, unless you have a better experience. Also, as far as security, with things going the way they are now, hackers and spammers and phishers that are out there, you need to do everything you possibly can do so you don't get scammed or things like that. So having a secure browser when you're putting in credit card information and things like that can greatly benefit anything that you do. If you're not thinking about your cybersecurity every time you log on with your phone or your tablet or your computer, then you're already behind the game. Bonus. You didn't think the bonus was coming, but it is. So the bonus is OBS. So why is OBS important in today's society? Everything you've ever seen me screen record has been on OBS. YouTube, if you're into YouTube and you're watching YouTube, so you're kind of into it, would be a different place without OBS. There are some paid solutions, so the cost of YouTube would go up as far as entrance and things like that. Also, one of the most popular streaming sites for gaming relies heavily on OBS, and that's going to be Twitch. I mean, Twitch would be nothing without OBS because the cost of some of these other recording or broadcast softwares are high. They have some cheaper ones that are okay, like iFreeCam and things like that, but OBS takes things and puts it up on another level. You have people that develop plugins, so a lot of those animations you see that pop on people's faces whenever you donate money or screen and things like that are all OBS plugins or people that develop for OBS to have those things. So Twitch and YouTube would be drastically different without OBS. And guys, that's it. Thank you for joining me. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you didn't, give me a thumbs down. Tell me why you didn't like the video. It's fine. I'm always up for improvement. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Have a good one.